Welcome to my channel to explore art exhibitions in Beijing. The first video is at the 798 Art District. Daqian Gallery. The current exhibition is a group exhibition of contemporary ink art. Ink and wash painting, also known as Chinese painting, has a long history of nearly 2,000 years in China, and it also regarded as the shining crystallization of the traditional Chinese art, as well as a core symbol of Chinese culture. In 1978, when the reform and opening up was started in China, various forms of Western art rushed into China, and some artists who had engaged in traditional ink and wash painting began to expand the ink language, which was later called New Ink Art Movement. An ink installation, printer, code, ancient document, and a dictionary. Gallery, a solo exhibition by artist Yong, themed Watching as an Infant. Since 2002, Yong has been living in a remote mountain village in a suburban of Beijing. He has paid attention to the expression of folk paintings and supported local villagers' art market for over a decade. Many of his paintings are based on the biblical stories. Soka Art Center. This is another contemporary ink art exhibition. Spurs Gallery. Current exhibition is presenting an iconic artist, Ulay, a pioneer in polyreel photography, performance, and body art. It is his first posthumous solo exhibition in Asia at the gallery. The exhibition is a journey through Ulay's life and his body of work, focusing on 3 different periods. His artistic activity in the early 1970s, his collaboration with Maria Abramovic between 1976 to 1989, and his work as a solo artist in the late 1990s. In 1983, Abramovic and Ulay announced their ultimate collaboration, The Lover. They proposed to be the first people to walk the Great Wall of China. Setting off alone from opposite ends, they planned to meet in the middle, where they would marry. The Beijing authorities struggled to comprehend the pair's motives for the journey. No one kept or walked the Great Wall as an art project. After 8 years of negotiations with the Chinese authorities and raising the funds for the project, the artists got permission to carry out the durational performance. They had averagely 20 kilometers a day, walked 19 days, and covered roughly 2,000 kilometers each. As they embraced affectionately, Ulay shared with Abramovic his desire to continue the walk forever. Abramovic was unequivocal in her desire to get home. After a press conference in Beijing, they returned separately to Amsterdam and didn't speak or see one another for 22 years. Now we are heading to a new gallery named Simulacra. It's not easy to find until you see the letters on the ground. Here we go. The current exhibition themed Upward Spiraling Light. It's the second exhibition after the gallery moved. Most paintings are acrylics on canvas mixed with the resin. This artist tried to create a world full of futuristic and mysterious energy. This installation reminds me of spiritual ceremony. The objects look like unicellular creatures from an unknown crashed planet. The bright people create the future, but the gremlins can only go back to the future. There's no masterpiece, only good vibe. There's no achievement, only enjoyment. Upward spiraling light. Walking through 706 North 2nd Street, Mocube Gallery. Chinese artist Chenlian's solo exhibition themed Waxing and Wanting of the Augustness, second, showcasing the second part of Mother Trilogy, including drawings and the performance. The first part was in 13th Shanghai Biennial in 2021. The artist uses an old portrait as the starting point of the narrative. The work describes the dilemma of the artist's mother in a family relationship. The half-uncle burned the only portraits of the artist's grandfather, which brings out the eternal love and the shadow of the family. Mother and a child, wandering between psychological reality and the physical reality. This kind of wandering is not only the transition of the bond between the mother and the son, the endless longing between the mother and the grandfather, but also the mythological scene of the current era of China. It is drawn and surreal and full of illusions. In this group of paintings, the artist depicted different women images from history when they were working, from being laborers to enjoying. The title, Waxing and the Waning of the Augustness, is inspired by a poem, One Piece, by Li Shangying, a poet in the Tang Dynasty. Like the fragrance of the sweet-scented augustness, like the moon shining in the mirror, the artist's mother was born in the 8th month of the lunar calendar, when augustness flowers were in blossom. Although the time and space are staggered, this poem is a historical coincidence and also implies the fate of the women from ancient times to the present. Drawing as the thread running through the exhibition involves around the script of the performance 20 poems for Mom, which originated from the artist's memory and association of his mother and himself, consisting of 20 performance poems with respect to the performance studies that focus on memory, time, and duration. Opening performance was documented. All dancers were recruited to perform in the opening. The artist Chenlian has started his art career as a performance artist. No wonder he is a good director too.